Hi, I'm Dick Vincent. This is Frida. I'm an illustrator and a regular contributor to Flow. The process I use, I always start with my little notebook, which I carry everywhere. I make lists, do little thumbnail sketches, which then I translate into a rough sketch. And then once I've done the rough sketch, I do the final sketch onto watercolour paper using watercolours. Once that's done, I scan it and maybe touch it up. I use the computer as little as I possibly can. A lot of illustrators use tablets and things like that. Me personally, I would rather do things the old-fashioned way. If I want to include a lot of text and things, it's easier that way, but I try to use Photoshop and editing tools as little as possible. One of the best things about being an illustrator is I get to draw all the time. It's one of my favourite things to do. It's something that I've done since as long as I can remember. I've never really grown out of it. It's great that I get to do that for a job. One of my favourite things about working with Flow is it involves a lot of research. I've done ones where how to build a campfire, and the pocket knife one, I have to do a certain amount of research and I find out things not just in my work but that I can use in life. I can now build a campfire. One of the big things that runs throughout my work is humans' relationship with animals and how we project human emotions onto an animal. Very often in my work I like to tell a joke using animals but still draw the animals as opposed to drawing animals wearing human clothes or in human positions. Another one of the themes as well that runs through my work, and especially with Flow magazine, is the great outdoors. A lot of my work is all to do with camping and pen knives and just general getting out. I never consciously chose to be an illustrator. I've always drawn, but I've always drawn in an illustration style. And one of my favourite things about illustration is telling stories. I've always drawn people and animals and told stories through drawings. To me, it just seems a lot more interesting to tell a story or to make someone laugh. One of my big influences on my work is children's books. I love children's books, I love picture books. People like Oliver Jeffers, John Classen and Carson Ellis. These guys, to me, completely changed how we look at children's books. So when these guys came along, to me they made books that didn't speak down to children, and they appealed to adults as well, and the stories were great. The pocket knife illustration, this one, was a piece that was featured in the Flow Weekly. So the guys at Flow sent me the brief to do a diagram of a penknife. First of all, I had to do some research. Obviously my first step was to research each blade, which blade does what, basically how to use a penknife. I thought it would be a good idea to do it as anatomy of a penknife, like the old anatomy medical sketches. What I did with this one is, because it involved a lot of text, I started with just the watercolour of the image. I did the text separate, then scanned them both in and edited them both on Photoshop.